Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Gumshoe Gamer Podcast. My name is Gumshoe, or Ethan, or whatever you want to call me, and we're back. It's not Halloween anymore by the time you're seeing this, but you know, if Simpsons can delay their Halloween special, I think I can do that too. So, with me is a new person. Who are you?
I thought you knew. You're the one who invited me.
You kind of just came in. Oh wait, I did invite you. Hold on, let me. That's not on the script. Anyway, who are you?
I don't. Are you asking? Is this an existential question? It might be.
Yes.
I don't know. That's a very good question. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to get back to you on that. But if you're asking me like why, just the surface level, whatever, I can't think. I don't know where I'm going with this joke.
We lost the bit. Anyway, yeah. Bits over.
I'm terrible at that. Anyway, hello. My name is Hoodlie. It's just Hoodie with an L. That's it, really. I make really infrequent and subpar YouTube videos about really just whatever I feel like making them about. So, mostly just anime and video games, and that's kind of it.
Yee. For someone that hasn't seen any of your videos, which one would you recommend?
None of them.
Okay, I mean that's fair, but still, if you had to pick one,
I really don't know. I don't really think any of them are good, but Ninja Scroll, I guess that one is like the least terrible one I can think of. So
I also like your Gungrave one. I thought that was pretty good.
Thanks.
So yeah.
I also have my own podcast, but it's taken me forever to get the newest episode out because I'm just incredibly lazy. It wasn't evident from the fact that it's taken me like over 2 months to make another main video. So you cannot rely on me for quality or consistency.
Oh well. In any case,
I was gonna say but then I realized I can't really say anything against that.
But nope, there is no but. That's it. Full stop. Yeah, it be like that though. I think this year has just been creatively draining for everybody.
Nah, I'm just lazy.
I mean, I'm not gonna deny that, but still, I'm lazy too. All right, so I get it. But anyway, have you been able to play any games recently? Any?
I have a terrible memory. What have I been playing lately? What have I been playing? Well, I guess I have been playing Remember Me for like the 7th time.
Okay, that's a game I haven't heard of in a ridiculously long amount of time. What?
I made a video on it. The video sucks, so I'm making another one that hopefully will suck less.
Will it be called, hey, you remember me, they remember me? Remembrance?
No, because I don't know. I feel like that's kind of demeaning to the game. And I mean, I like the game. It's one of those titles where the title of the game, the actual title of the game, not the game itself when I say title, but like the title of the game kind of makes you feel like you have to make a stupid pun about it. Like, remember me? Kind of forgettable. Or at least that's what Ben Yahtzee Croshaw made a joke about.
I was just gonna go with remember me, because no one else will.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that because I don't know. I like the game. Like, it's not great, but I like it for a lot of reasons. The video's probably not going to be out for quite a while because, again, I'm not good at this stuff and it takes me forever. But I mean, it's one of those games where you ever play a game where you know it's not very good, but for some reason you just keep playing it because there's something about it that interests you, and you keep playing it to experience that same thing again and again.
Listen, you're talking to like a Sonic fan, so I'm like, yeah. I know the feeling.
Okay, I don't mean like the franchise is a giant flaming pile of random ideas that never get expanded upon. I mean like just like this one-off game that had a neat idea, but it just wasn't. It didn't like come together into a cohesive whole. It's like making bread, but you didn't ferment it enough, so it just kind of falls apart when you need it. I make bread.
I don't know if this is the best example because I don't think it's a terrible game, but Killer is Dead.
Dude, I actually really like Killer is Dead. That's
Yeah.
another one of those good okay games I like to call it. I like to call them 6.5 gen games
Mm-hmm. It's not like
just
an
because like
it's absolute trash, but it definitely is not like,
it's not like Killer 7
yeah, it's not
or
polished
No More
whatsoever.
Heroes.
It needed a lot more polish, really.
Yeah. The
But
visual style is really cool,
mm-hmm.
and Mondo Zappa's name is really cool. I think it's supposed to be a pun on Frank Zappa.
I'm pretty sure. Which I only just now got. Thank you. I was like, oh yeah, that is his name. I just always thought he was Mondo. I forgot he actually had a last name.
Yeah, it's Mondo Zappa. And he's got a robot arm. He rode a unicorn from the moon. He's got a samurai sword. And he's somehow much less interesting than any of those qualities would make you believe.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of sad about it. Though, okay, now I just remembered a game that perfectly describes it. Hey, you remember the Bionic Commando reboot?
Sadly, yes.
Yeah, that's like that game. I was amazed by how kind of meh and bad it was, but I was so amazed I was like, I gotta finish this.
That's more of a guilty pleasure. It's not really the same kind of thing. Hey, by the way, if his robot arm is his wife, does that mean if he has some, private time, does that count as? Does that not technically count as masturbation?
Wow. Next question.
Anyway, I've also been playing Immortal Redneck. I got it like 2 days ago because it was on sale for like basically nothing. And
Oh, actually, I think I
it's
have
a
that.
yeah, it's a first-person shooter where you play a redneck hillbilly dude who goes to Egypt. I don't know why he went to Egypt. It seems like a very strange place for a vacation destination, but whatever. He's riding around his dune buggy, and then he crashes, and then he's wrapped up in mummy bandages, which somehow makes him immortal, which explains the title. And then it's a first-person shooter roguelike where you just kind of go around with the guns and shoot things, and you just kind of keep. It's a roguelike. It's a first-person shooter roguelike. I like roguelikes. I play quite a few of them, and I found one recently that I haven't played just because it's like $20, and I just like, I'm saving up for the Digimon card game, so maybe not. But it's called BPM, Bullets Per Minute.
Oh,
Have you heard of it?
yes, I have. I really want to play that.
I
That
want to
looks
play that
super
really
freaking
bad. It's
fun.
a first-person roguelike again, first-person shooter roguelike, but it's a rhythm game themed to Viking metal, and I'm just like, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, it sounds cool, and we can actually say that.
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah, that looks like such a great time. Honestly,
Sorry,
I'm
what?
very. That just looks like a great time. I really want to get that at some point, but I kind of have already spent enough as it is. So, oops.
Yeah. I mean, I hope it goes on sale soon because it looks really cool.
Mm-hmm. Though
But anyway,
I actually have played Immortal Redneck. Now that I think about it, I didn't spend that much time on it. Steam only says I put like a couple hours into it. But yeah, I thought it was pretty fun. The art style was a little too simple for my taste, but
I
that's
like
just
it.
merely
It's fun and
nitpicking.
cartoony.
Mm-hmm.
The only other game I've been playing lately that's actually kind of worth mentioning is Style Savvy Fashion Forward.
Oh my
I've had that
god.
on my DS for years. I've put so many freaking hours into those games. That and Trendsetters. I haven't played the new one. I think it came out.
There's a
Was it
new
last-
one? Okay, because oh wow, this is news to me.
Styling Star. That's what it was called. It's the one with like music and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It came out in 2017. That makes a lot of sense.
Oh, okay. Man.
I haven't picked I played the demo a couple times, and it's neat because it's like it actually has like music and stuff, so you get to be in that business as well. That's cool. I haven't picked it up yet, mostly because I can't remember if it has a physical edition, and I'd rather buy a physical copy. I don't think it does, but anyway.
Yeah, because it's for the 3DS, right? Or is it? Or
Yeah.
yeah. So you really want the physicals because something that I figured out is your digital purchases are tied to that single
SD card.
Yeah. that card. So oops.
Yeah, I actually lost my SD card once, and it had the DS drawing program I used to make the profile picture for my channel, which
Oh
explains why the
no.
profile picture is so terrible, because I drew it on a DS. So really should do something about that. But anyway, I've been rambling. What have you been playing,
Oh
Detective Gumshoe?
oh man. A lot actually. I'll save a thing. So the first thing I really do want to talk about is something I've been playing a lot. Like before this month, a couple months ago, I started a playthrough of this. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. I actually decided to give it another go because I played through it. Oh my god, I don't know, a year, maybe 2 years ago, but I kind of stopped because I had other things that just I knew it was one of those games I needed to sit down and like actually dedicate a lot of time to. Um, so now it's 2020, so hey, guess I'll do that right now. And I'm not near the end of the game, but I'm definitely getting there. And outside of the jankiness that still exists, it's a very good game. Like I'm very surprised.
The new one's coming out when?
I have no idea. It keeps getting delayed, and there's no like firm release date.
Okay. I've never played it.
It definitely is an old PC game, though.
Is it like Omicron? The Nomad Soul level of old PC jank?
No,
By the way, Omicron is like the best game that David Cage has ever made because it's an actual game.
Ooh.
And it has David Bowie.
Oh damn! I actually need to. Okay, because this is news to me. I gotta figure out what this is. But
Omicron, the Nomad
I'd
Soul,
say it's
like
no, it's early 2000s. So I say old in that same way that
like somewhere
Deus
around
Ex 1.
Hitman.
Yeah, like Deus Ex 1 is kind of difficult to run on modern hardware in like that sort of way.
It's it's like held together with sackcloth.
Mm-hmm. That the dev team really had like no budget, or not. It's like they didn't have they needed a lot more money and more time, and I think it was EA that published it. It was like, nope, you don't. Yeah, you're not getting any of that. So fans literally had to patch up the game and restore missing content. Now, luckily,
well, I mean, if people were willing to do that, it must be good.
Luckily though, if you buy the GOG version, which is what I recommend, that already comes with it, and so you can just buy it and then play it straight out, which is really nice. And since that's the version that I've been playing, I've only experienced jank when it comes to the combat mechanics, and some of the animations are pretty mid 2000s. But for what it is, and the narrative and the story is really like the highlight of it.
What's the weakness of vampires? Because like everything has like a vampire weakness.
Yeah. So basically, the whole stake thing doesn't actually really do anything except paralyze. Sunlight is the biggest one, which is why so basically the entire game is in night,
so the sunlight thing's just kind of pointless.
Well, no, it's not, because it's basically like the entire game is in night, but it's supposed to be like separate days. You just time, right, quote unquote. But yeah, it's supposed, but so like there was never a day setting. It's always going to be night whenever you play the game, which I think is actually pretty cool, because if there's one thing that this game does very well, it makes you feel like a vampire, but not in gameplay, like just, oh, I'm beating up people and I'm cool, superpower. No, in the sense that like, oh, I gotta actually act like a vampire. Oh, right, yeah. There's like constant reminders in the story and narrative and even just world that like, yeah, you are a vampire, so you have to do this now.
That makes sense.
Like, hey, blood? Yeah, blood's pretty important. But if you like just kill like random people by doing that, then your humanity goes down and basically you're kind of shunned. Also, if you break the masquerade, which is basically like doing acts like killing people just in broad daylight or using any sort of vampire things where
Doing
civilians
the
can see.
evil crimes.
No, listen, you can do crimes, just don't get caught. That's basically it. Too.
Doing the stupid crimes, because it's only
Yeah.
a crime if you get caught.
Exactly. But yeah, if you break the masquerade like I think it's 5 times, then the game's over. You legit lose.
That's kind of interesting. You ever play Vampire?
No, I've not.
That's by the same people who made Remember Me, actually. I heard it was like it had the same feeling as Remember Me. I still want to play it just because I like Don't Nod's work. Life is Strange was really cringy.
Life is Strange is Life is Strange.
What?
Yeah, Life is Strange, be Life is Strange,
Anyway, Vampire, I think that was kind of like Vampire Masquerade, but it was like it had the same level of quality as Remember Me, where they had a bunch of neat ideas, but they just didn't make it come together enough. So maybe you could be interested in that. It's more of an action RPG kind of thing, so maybe.
Oh no, wait, yeah, I do have it. I just have yet to actually play it. It's one of those situations. Because I got it on sale when it was like $10.
Oh.
Yay.
I forgot one thing that I've been playing lately that I've actually been looking forward to like all year long.
Oh, what?
13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim.
Oh god, that looks freaking great. Wish I had a PS4.
It's also really freaking weird because it's like branching time loop with giant robots and kaijus, and there's a talking cat.
That takes place in World War II, I think.
So it takes place in I think it's like World War II, and then the 80s, and then the 2020s, and then the 2040s, and then I think it's weird. You got I don't know what's happening. There's tiny robots, and then there's big robots that shoot missiles, and then the actual gameplay is like real-time tower defense. It's a freaking weird game, and it's great. Go play it. It's pretty.
It's developed by VanillaSoft. I think that's
Vanillaware.
Vanillaware. Wow.
The same guys who made Grim Grimoire, Odin Sphere, its remake Odin Sphere, Leifthir? Something I don't speak Nordic. Or is it Scandinavian? Is the language of Vikings pronounced Nordic or Scandinavian? I think it's Scandinavian.
I think it's Scandinavian.
Whatever. And Dragon's Crown. The one with the super hot Amazon lady who goes into battle specifically wearing a bikini just because she can.
Wow. When was
and then the super
when was that released?
Dude who always skips leg day. So he's just a giant walking pectoral on legs.
Boom knuckles. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm sorry. I just remembered that's what I've been playing just because my memory is not great. But that game's cool. And I'm glad because it was like one of only 3 new games I was looking forward to this year. And it's great.
Yeah. I don't even... Okay, well, we'll probably talk a little bit more about some stuff later. But, just kind of end off with the Vampire Masquerade thing. I really recommend it. And you should all try to get the GOG Good Old Games version if you possibly can. Just to save yourself the hassle of if you don't want to deal with getting the Steam version and then having to track down so you can mod it successfully.
GOG also has some free games, some classic PC games you can get every now and then. So keep an eye on that one.
It's my go-to whenever it's like, okay, if I need an older PC game, then go there. 100%, just go there. Those clients are usually pretty good. So, yay. I also, this month, actually, got around to playing Resident Evil 7. It's been on my backlog forever.
Like party on that.
Yes, I know I'm late to everything, okay? Listen, that's the thing. I rarely play anything that's, new anymore.
Same, honestly.
It's just, oh well. Anyway.
Some new games are fine, like Yakuza. they're massive, but they tend to be high quality. I should stop talking now. You were
It's
saying?
fine. It's fine. Um, Resident Evil 7, I think, is probably okay. Out of all of them that I've played, I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but I would put it above Remake 2. And I don't know if that's a hot take or not, because I enjoyed my time with 7 more than I enjoyed my time with Remake 2
Which one was two? Oh yeah, that was the one with Leon.
and Claire.
Yeah, Claire and Leon.
Hmm.
RE4 is still the best, just in terms of like a game you can play.
Yeah, I do think RE4. I am one of those people. I think RE4 is the best one. But then again, that I've played, I haven't played a lot of Resident Evil games. I've only played remake of 1, remake of 2, 7,
And
4,
four.
5, 6, 5 and 6,
That's like
and that's
most
it.
of the mainline ones except 3.
Yeah, 3 I have not played yet, and I'll
Well, they made
probably
a
get the
remake
remake
of
at some
3,
point.
so you can go and play that one.
At some point,
Yeah, so
I'll get it.
I don't play horror games, and I actually played Resident Evil 7 around when it came out. It's gross. It's really
Oh
gross.
yeah, it's very much horror, which
It's
I which.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Mhm.
but with
It starts off
doing
like
mutants.
Chainsaw Massacre, but then it becomes Resident Evil.
Yeah,
I will
I'd
say.
say so. When I got to that section with the bug lady, I just turned my PC on mute, and then I just tried to get through it as fast as possible. I hate bugs. I hated that scene. So when
Oh
I saw
yeah.
a lady who was pooping bugs out of wherever she was pooping them, I just said, "Screw you!" and just flamethrower. I just stockpiled as much flamethrower
See,
ammo
but
as I
but
could.
that's also such just like a lot of the game. I'm surprised just how memorable that the game left, because it's like, man, I really loved like pretty much every boss fight, and there was a lot of just character like poured into them. They remind me a lot of 4 in that way, where it's like every time we get a new encounter,
I
it
mean,
is
it's not
just
as
like
fun as 4.
it's nowhere near as fun. Which I except maybe the first boss in the garage. That was like the only time where I thought where literally you just like drive a car and try to ram the father in. That was the only time that I felt like it got like kind of ridiculous.
The
But
Baker family, I do think, make memorable bosses because they all have something gross that they do, and their fights are kind of interesting.
and they're also somewhat sympathetic near the end, which I thought was a nice twist.
I mean, it doesn't make up for the fact that they chainsawed my hand off,
It doesn't. I
and
mean, I mean, they still deserve to die at some point, but at the same time, it's like you know,
I feel bad for killing you, gross cannibalistic redneck mutant people.
well, because it's funny
Were
because
they
like
cannibals?
basically,
I
actually,
think
I
they
don't.
were.
I think they became that. The idea is that, oh, it's because of Evie, Evelyn, that they all
Ah,
became this way.
okay.
So that's
It's
the
been a
whole.
while since I played through it.
Hmm. I just thought it was I just thought it was very good, and like I ended up really liking the characters. Ethan didn't become as bland as I thought he was gonna be, so that's nice.
Which
I
is
mean,
surprising considering he's just two fists that occasionally swore.
well, for now, but there is an entire sequence where you actually play as your wife, and you see he actually does have a model. So
Yeah, I know, but it's just
I thought that was nice.
most of
But
the
yeah, the
game.
majority is just two
Same thing.
fists.
I will say this: it's probably the only Resident Evil game I would consider scary. Because like every other
Hmm.
game that I played, it's like it's not scary. It's more tense rather than scary. And even then, like they make it hard to take it seriously because the dialogue is terrible and the stories are stupid. But through like the game design, they kind of make things tense. But I wouldn't say they ever became scary until 7.
Hmm. And I
And
think
then
it's
4
just
came along and was like, yeah, this is fun. This is stupid. We know we're stupid. Let's have the main villain be this squeaky voiced Napoleon dude in Spain. Just
God.
cause.
I love him. See, yeah, I could legit be here forever in Gush Road 4 now that I actually got the Wii version, and oh my god, love that version.
The remake's gonna be really weird.
Oh my,
Just
I
gets
don't
like,
know.
why would you remake 4 when you've remade the previous 3 games to be like 4?
Can you just remake Code Veronica then and like make the story better?
Yeah, that too. And don't put Steve in there. Freaking
Or make Steve better.
that's true. You
Mhm.
could just do that.
Yeah, don't make him always have to hit on Claire, okay?
And also stop letting people make live action Resident Evil movies. We don't need those.
I don't know if there will be any more because I think the last one bombed pretty
I
badly.
thought there was. I don't remember. Whatever. Resident Evil 7. I
It's
recommend
good.
it.
It's yeah,
If you have the
it's good.
stomach for it,
Hmm.
it's really gross. So like if you're fine with that, you should totally go check it out.
I will say I wasn't hyped for Resident Evil 8, but now that I played Resident Evil 7, I'm like, oh man, I actually want to see where this is gonna go. It's
I
like
still don't really care for Resident Evil. Just cause I don't know. I'm not really a fan of it, but 4 is fun. 7 was neat.
I
I'm glad
hope
the remakes are
8
doing
does
well,
something. I
even if they're only doing
I
one.
hate. Okay, last thing I will say though, um, about RE7, the two DLCs that I ended up playing, Chris's story, which is literally just an FPS at that point. There's no horror. You're just plain old shooting. Um,
Oh, that's a
yeah,
shame.
which I mean, like, it's fine. It's short. It's whatever. I'm glad that they changed his model after 7 because Chris RE7 Chris looks terrible. I'm sorry. It's just he looks so bad.
Did
So
he
thankful.
hire the bicycle shop employee to inflate his muscles again?
No, but like the face doesn't even look like Chris. Like they literally had to tell me. I didn't know it was Chris until they literally just said, "Oh, I'm Chris Redfield." I'm like, "What?"
I mean, he probably doesn't even have the same voice actor just because they keep
No, it
swapping
doesn't.
around.
No
They
more
really should
Roger Craig
stop doing
Smith.
that.
No more Roger Craig Smith.
That's a shame.
But
Capcom
yeah,
really needs to stop doing that.
the other one, The End of Zoe, I think is what I consider to be Resident Evil in every way. And if you want just stupid Resident Evil, oh my god, that is like epitome. You are literally the brother of the father, the Baker father, and
So you're
you
the uncle.
yeah, so you're the uncle. And you don't get guns. No, no. You have your fists because you're a boxer and you punch the shit out of these molded.
That's what they're called?
Yeah, they're called molded
That is really lame.
because they're only because you know they're molds. Or
That's really lame.
yeah,
Like
but you just
we used to
punch.
have
They
what,
like
like
there's like
Gene
there's
Simmons
freaking
brain
there's
exposed?
yeah. Here's the thing. There's like legit combos in there too. Like if you do right, left, and right, and then you can follow it up with either fast punches. You can follow it up with like either fast punches or like a super heavy punch, and then at the end you get like this mechanical arm upgrade that just you can make a charge punch. It's like it's super
This sounds
ridiculous,
more like Punch Out Revengeance.
and it's all in first person too.
Yes, it sounds like Punch Out Revengeance. That would actually be pretty cool.
Yeah, I was having a blast. I was just like, this is stupid and ridiculous, but I love it.
I'll have to. Isn't it free?
That one isn't. Chris's
Oh,
one is.
no.
But it
I'll have to-
also is a good End of Zoe is also a really good end epilogue to 7 because it basically is like Zoe just kind of is just there and then we never see her again after a certain point in the story. So then to finally have her be back and be like, "Oh, yeah, this is what happened to me." Is nice.
I feel like that would kind of be disappointing because the big thing about Resident Evil is that you don't know what the heck's going on. You're just kind of plopped into the situation and you're left to your own devices to get the heck out of there. I feel like having a DLC that explains it kind of defeats the purpose. Maybe that's just me. I
Well,
don't know.
not every. Well, I mean, 7 explains what the heck is actually going on at the end. That's. But then again, it's never. But a lot of it is like you can kind of piece it together. It's never 100%. like told to the characters. Like I think even at the end, like Ethan doesn't fully understand what the heck is going on. But you do as a player
All right.
at the end.
Okay.
But yeah, there you go. That's all I want to say with RE7.
It's good. It's good. Play it on Halloween.
That's
I
very.
hope you played it on Halloween.
It's
If
a
you
good
didn't,
spooky
I
game.
hope you watched Monster House or I don't know, Ringu. Sure. I hope
That's
you watched
good.
those.
Okay. So with that said, we're gonna get into them headlines, guys.
Played No More Heroes though.
Off. Seriously, you need help.
Everybody deals with grief differently, right? Some people fuck at funerals. I cut off heads.
Well, I mean, I was gonna talk about that, but technically that's new. So I guess that'll be the first thing. Sure, why
Alright.
not? So hey, surprise! There was the Nintendo Direct Mini for some reason. I woke up and then there was one.
Legend of Zelda.
Oh yeah, they actually showed off the new Zelda, and there's a demo for it. I played
Well,
I
there
played a bit
goes
of
my
it.
joke at the expense of Nintendo fanatics.
Oh, they actually did.
That's interesting. I don't really care. But No More Heroes.
Yeah, No More Heroes 1 and 2 are on the Switch right now. $20 each USD.
Freaking sweet. Go play
not
them.
bad. Yeah, they're even upscaled HD and it looks great.
Cool.
Yeah, it's like actual good versions. And so I highly recommend if you decide to get it, play with the Joy-Cons detached. Really is the best
Wait a
way.
second. Does that mean Suda51 and Jiggle Physics is in actual HD quality now?
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Go play it. Go play No More Heroes.
Mhm.
And I really hope that in the third one, Travis is back to how he was in the second game and not how he was in Travis Strikes Back. Because that would be disappointing. I want him to be a pathetic nerd.
I mean,
That's what he was. He was a pathetic nerd who only knew how to kill people, and that's all he was. His room was full of anime memorabilia, and it was funny. Because he was a hopeless geek who bought a lightsaber on an online auction and decided to become an assassin just because. Like, it's funny. It's funny.
yeah. Something that I had to get used to because I never played the second game. So because it would cost me $100 plus to get a copy of No More Heroes 2
Wait, what?
for my Wii. Yeah, it's like really No More Heroes 2 for the Wii is like incredibly expensive.
That's weird.
So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm never playing this unless it gets ported. It got ported, so decided to get
Yay.
No More Heroes 2.
Now you can experience the abomination joke ending that is Jasper Bat Jr.
Oh damn.
But you do get to experience Margaret Moonlight and Alice Twilight, which are honestly incredible. Those are fantastic.
I got up to the point where you play as Shinobu. Yeah. And I did her first mission.
Her missions aren't very fun. I mean, they're okay.
Yeah,
Like,
it's clear Travis had a lot more time in development than she did.
Yeah.
I
don't like how she says "moe" after sharpening her sword.
Yeah.
That was weird. I want to see Travis do the that really stupid recharge thing.
I love it.
I don't know why that's still funny. I think it's just because
is.
he deliberately made it look like that. Just because he could.
It's even more obvious in 2. Like it's not even trying to be like kind of.
It never was. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, No More Heroes. I think that was like one of the first like M-rated games that I actually beat, just because it was so freaking ridiculous. You had all these crazy boss fights. You had all these crazy abilities. You could learn wrestling throws, which was awesome. You got to upgrade your swords. You got to ride around on a giant motorcycle in a really empty, not very good open world. You got to go to you got to customize your shirts. So I got some shirts. That was cool.
And I actually the thing about 2 though that I do have to say is I'm glad that there's no like motorcycle driving around. That's
that was
great. And I like most of the mini games in 2. There's a few of them that I'm just like, man, I wish that they gave me more money for.
Yeah.
And I also kind of don't like what they did with the gym in 2 because I don't know. I kind of liked in 1 where it was just all motion controls because it didn't last for super long. But in here, it's like, oh, if you mess up a couple times, then that's it. You're not gonna progress or just spend more money.
The weird thing is, you don't even need money for the story missions.
Yeah, which I think that's a good change.
Yeah, you just do them for extra stuff like upgrades and T-shirts and stuff like that.
And extra blades, which you can switch mid mission, which is nice. I love that.
So freaking cool.
Dude, I was freaking laughing so hard when I got the 3rd one, which is just this super long blade saber, and I was like, oh my god, it's just growing like super much, and it just does this super wide, like, get hit like 5 guys in a row with just one swing. It was the most satisfying thing ever.
That's a pretty powerful penis metaphor right there.
Oh yeah, totally.
Dual swords were awesome.
I haven't gotten those yet, but I'm assuming that's probably...
They're so cool. And also, whenever you get to Margaret Moonlight, her stage is kind of annoying because you have to just go through so many goons until night falls, and then you go up to the roof of the supermarket, and then you fight her. But man, dude, homie, pal, her boss fight music is freaking awesome, and it's also kind of hilarious.
Oh no, I think 2 already has a better soundtrack than 1. Which,
Yeah,
I mean,
have you ever listened to the song Philistine?
Yes.
It is actually really funny. And it's very funny how in context of the series, how in context she's supposed to be singing it. So it's like, is every person she fights an otaku? Is she always talking about her, what was it, absolute territory? Is that just what she says all the time?
Ooh. I can't wait.
Yeah, that's funny. It's really funny. Unless it's like a completely different song. I don't think it is. I think it's supposed to be diegetic because she's supposed to be constantly singing it.
It is supposed to be.
That seems like a very weird tactic for an assassin. But then again, she's a gothic Lolita using scythe sniper rifle thingies, so who cares? It's cool.
This is ridiculous. But that's the point, and I love it. I also
cool fight.
love that the 3rd game is going to just go like full on space, because that's what any anime does.
In space.
The Galactic Assassin rankings. Okay.
Oh, jeez. I wonder how many tits Tsuda is going to put on one of the assassins.
Dude, are we going to get a callback to Killer is Dead?
That would actually be... I'd be up for that.
I mean, we already know No More Heroes takes place in the same universe as Killer 7.
It is?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's weird.
There were subtle nods to it in the other games, but in Travis Strikes Again, in a recent update, they added a cutscene in the beginning that's one of the Smiths, the main Smith in Killer 7. He comes to Badman's house, and it's like, hey, kill Travis.
Batman?
Batman. That's what
Batman?
As
in Batman.
No, as in like bad girls for like the father.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you said Batman. I was like, how the heck did they get Batman in there?
Batman is in there.
Unless it's just like a guy with an actual bat.
I mean, he literally is. It's just a
That
guy,
makes sense.
just a drunk father.
Wait a second. How does that tie into Killer is Dead?
Oh no, I have no idea. I don't think those are connected whatsoever. But I'm saying that Killer 7 is connected to No
Killer
More Heroes.
7. I thought you said Killer is Dead for some reason.
No.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yes, Killer 7 is connected to.
It also would have been cool if Killer 7, Killer is Dead, and No More Heroes all took place in the same universe.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty cool. Although I would really love to fight the Mexican wrestler Smith. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Remember him?
Oh yeah. The most.
Did you not play Killer 7?
I have seen it in action, but I have yet to play for myself. It's one of
All right,
those.
so basically, you swap between 7 different assassin dudes, and one of them is a Mexican wrestler with grenade launchers who can headbutt bullets.
That's amazing.
I
need
know.
to get around to playing it because I do have it.
It really puts into context how kind of boring Killer is Dead is, because no one headbutts bullets in that.
But you do have an arm gun that is like kind of worthless.
And you upgrade it by sleeping with random women. I still don't get that part of the game.
That to me is the weirdest part. I have no idea.
I still don't get how that works. Because, like, all I did is, like, stare at them. And then I gave them a present, and then I have a drill?
Oh, well.
How does that work?
It's a mighty drill that will pierce the heavens. Anyway, so our next topic.
Go play No More Heroes. I really hope 3 is good.
Same.
Next topic. Yes.
Yeah, so next topic. Hey, you know it's the Sega's 60th birthday. They released games and stuff.
Make another Yakuza.
They made some kind of it was fun. Some fun little stuff here and there. The main two being the not Streets of Rage.
Streets of Kamurocho.
Yeah.
I thought that was actually a really cool thing because, like, Yakuza is really popular now. I'm really glad that Zero did well because it means, oh, holy crap, Yakuza is amazing. So that was cool. And it combined it with a nostalgic fan favorite series. That was cool.
Really too out there. Like, I playing that made me like, oh, wow, these two series are kind of similar. It's like, yeah, you just find these random weapons lying around. Yeah, that's like Yakuza.
It's just kind of a beat 'em up thing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, in Yakuza, you can carry your weapons and you can, like, get a lightsaber.
Yeah, and you can use guns. For when you just don't.
Guns are for pussies.
No, it's when you just don't care. You're just like, yeah, okay, listen.
No, guns are for wimps, and if you are a man or woman, person of other.
Has there ever been
anything else? If you have any guts at all, you will go up there and punch them, because guns are for wimps.
Or you just use the heat action with the gun, which is what I intend to do.
No, I will look down on anyone who uses a gun in Yakuza. When you have Kiryu, who can just pick up a random bench and smack people over the head until they somehow don't die, I will look down on you if you use a gun, because that's coward.
So then who would be stronger, him or Frank West? I mean, they can both pick up benches.
Kiryu.
I mean, one has covered wars,
Yes, I know one of them has a meme. Well, both of them have memes.
No, both of them have memes. He has more memes.
Kiryu's been in more games. And his games are generally better.
Yeah, that's a sad
and
thing.
He isn't stuck fighting a bunch of random shambling corpses. Like, he actually has to fight people. Yes, I know Frank West has to fight people, but I mean, like, generally, Kiryu is better.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not.
Is there because now I'm thinking about it. Is there ever a Yakuza game where you actually you control a female character and have to beat the shit out of people?
I don't think so.
I mean,
No, I don't think so. I mean,
Yeah.
it'd be nice if you could. Maybe in Yakuza 7, one of the party members can be a girl. I think one of them can be.
yeah,
Actually.
I think one of them is actually.
It's such a weird thing because you have like open world beat 'em up with a lot of hilarious side missions, and you turn into a wacky modern day turn based JRPG. I'm all for it, but that's that's very weird,
So
very
yeah.
strange.
Right, and then Sega also released Golden Axe. Get it?
Yep.
Get it? Yeah.
Yes, I understand.
Oh well. Anyway,
Their
that
pun
was
department was
interesting.
not. It's a good pun. It's not very amusing. It gets the point across, though. I didn't play it. I'm not a Golden Axe fan.
I played it, and it's surprisingly good for like a canceled demo. That like I think the dev team really only had a month, I think, to just like make it. So it was very much in that sort of department, but it was just supposed to be like a proof of concept demo.
That's surprising.
Yeah, and it's functional. It's I've never noticed like I wasn't like glitching through walls or anything. So yeah, and it is Golden Axe. It does feel like Golden Axe game, so I was very impressed.
I have nothing to say about it. I don't play Golden Axe, but at least they put it out. Like that'd be nice. That was cool of them.
It's a shame that the devs didn't even know that there was going to be released until it actually was released.
I hope they at least got paid.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
They didn't, get paid, did they?
No.
Well, crap.
Yeah, that's a whole thing debacle about that game. That it's interesting that they were just. I mean, literally before the devs make a like announce like, hey, we didn't actually know this was coming out whatsoever. On the Steam, there was like a disclaimer saying, "Oh no, if this is like a janky mess, like please apologize. It's like it's like unfinished demo." And
I mean,
like,
at least that's better than saying it's in early access.
mm-hmm.
At least because like early access nowadays has a very, I want to say, down reputation about it because a lot of the skinflint hacks out there putting stuff on Steam, and it's just like an empty map with basically nothing in it. It's probably an asset flip, and they just say, "Oh, it's in early access." But now with this, they basically just said, "Okay, here's a thing that we didn't finish it, but it's here. You can play it for free." I think.
Yeah.
It just here's what it is. So if it's not what you expected, like a full blown Golden Axe game, that's your fault because we've deliberately said this is an unfinished prototype, but we're putting it out here because it's at least interesting to note.
It is a part of video game history that is interesting. So I mean,
It's probably better than the Golden Axe reboots.
yeah. Well, it was supposed to be like a reboot. It was part of a sort of it's part of a thing that like this, and apparently Streets of Rage was also going to have this kind of 2.5D remakes. That Sega wanted to do.
I'm not a fan of the idea of 2.5D unless it's a company like Arxis. Yeah, Arc System Works.
Oh, yeah.
Where they're actually like stupidly good at it. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about 2.5D always just feels really sluggish to me. But then Arxis comes out and it's like, dang, this is actually really good. Props to you. You did better than King of Fighters. Good on you, Guilty Gear.
Yeah. So, with that said, I don't really have much more to add for the 60th. It's funny that it almost looks like Go, but maybe I don't know. That's it.
You know, it'd be really cool
What?
if they actually like took Golden Axe and like made it a full blown game, and they sold it for modern consoles, but they put it in a Sega Saturn shaped box.
Oh,
That'd be cool.
yeah.
Or at least, you know, like a limited edition or something. I'd appreciate that. That'd be really neat.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, here's something that I always like. Something that I like doing in this podcast is like trying to bring attention to things that like don't get talked about at all. Hey, you guys know that like cult classic game for like original Xbox 13?
You mean Cassie?
Is that what it was called? I always know it as Roman numeral 13.
No, it is 13, but it looks like Cassie because it's written XIII.
Oh my God, I'm dumb. But yeah, hey, you know that there was a remake announced and we got like trailers for it and it's coming out really soon.
I think it's because like you just said like it's a cult classic thing. The thing is the original 13 didn't sell very well and it ended on a cliffhanger, and that was kind of it. Like I've played 13, at least some of it, and it was cool, but like it's also an early 2000s shooter for consoles, and it's super janky. I really like the visual style, and I'd like to see it come back. My only worry is that they're going to make it look realistic. I don't think they will.
No, they have not. They have kept true to its stylized roots but
Nice.
making it a little bit more. Like the environments I've noticed are a little bit more realistic than they were, like less blocky for starters.
All right, well that's fine. That's fine then. I think it's just because like I've never heard anyone asking for a remake of Cassie in the same way as like Legend of Dragoon. By the way, apparently Legend of Dragoon is getting a remake too.
That's news to me. What the heck?
Yeah, and apparently they're making it an action RPG with no turn-based combat. Like that was like one of the best parts of the original Legend of Dragoon. It was fun because you got to pick all the different attacks, and then you got to do the additions. And then when you press the buttons at the right time, it was like volcano or gust of wind dance, and they just said fun things. And the combat system was like one of the best parts. Not everything has to be an action RPG. Stop it. Get some help.
It is the mainstream thing though. I mean, you know, 7 remake.
If turn-based combat wasn't successful, how the heck do you explain Bravely Default, Octopath Traveler, Bravely? What was the thing after Bravely Default? Bravely Second, Fire Emblem to a lesser extent, Persona freaking 5. How do you explain those games? Like they all have turn-based combat. And they sold freaking gangbusters because people like those games. People like them. And it's just like, yeah, we know people like the turn-based style, but we don't know if people like the turn-based style. They probably don't like turn-based combat. So we're going to make it completely different than the original thing that people have been wanting a remake of for years. That should totally work.
I always thought it was because of turn-based. People like that. However, the action RPGs has a broader appeal.
Yeah, but an old school turn-based JRPG where one of the best parts about it was its really cool combat system and the fact that it was turn-based and it had the additions.
Because I'm just gonna say because some exec was like, hey, listen, we want this to actually sell, so make it action.
Well, they're dumb.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it. I'm not holding anything back. They're dumb. They're a bunch of dummies.
I mean, the more recent Final Fantasies, and at least what I've seen of 7 remake, maybe like, okay, you know, maybe there can be good action.
I really just don't have any faith in something that says, oh, we're gonna remake this classic RPG, but it's gonna be not the thing that we're actually remaking to the point where we might as well just make a different game. but you wanted the remake, so we're gonna just slap the name on it.
At least it won't be like a Panzer Dragoon remake. Ha ha.
You mean Panzer Dragoon Saga?
Oh
That
wait.
game needs a remake or a port.
Yeah, but remember the first game got remade.
Oh yeah, it did.
Mhm.
Was that any good? I can't remember. Was it? Are you talking about the one that was the unlockable thing in Orta?
No. It's for the Switch. Actually.
Of course it is.
So yeah. It's fine. It's just like don't go in expecting it like this AAA remake.
Well, I mean, it's not Legend of Dragoon. It's Panzer Dragoon. It's a rail shooter fantasy thing. It's
Mhm.
just, it's kind of a dated genre, I think, unless it's something like really crazy, like Sin and Punishment or some parts of Nier.
Yeah, I've noticed that like it is still a bit jank, even for a remake, but I don't know because I never played the original.
If
I've
you
only
want to
played
play
the
it, if you
unlockable
play
one
it
in
on the
Orca.
original Xbox, you can unlock it in Panzer Dragoon Orta.
Yeah, and
Nice.
I played it on that, but I don't know if that is just legit is just the same or not. I don't know if they tweaked
I'm pretty
it.
sure it's like basically the same thing.
Okay, then I guess I have played the original.
Cool.
Yeah,
Now
and
we
I
just
thought that was
need to
pretty good.
remake Panzer Dragoon Saga. It's like freaking $500.
Oh, geez.
I know. It's like $500 because they like. By the way, the same people who made Panzer Dragoon Saga, and it's rated like as highly as Final Fantasy VII.
Damn.
And now it's $500 because it was a Sega Saturn exclusive, and they really mishandled that thing. Probably because we never got Sega Tasanshiro.
No, we never did. And also, they're like, "Hey, by the way, you want this console? It's out now." What?
Yeah, that was stupid of them. But yeah, Cassie 13, whatever you want to call it, I think it's just the fact that it is a first-person shooter from a time where first-person shooters on consoles were still kind of novel. So it's it had cool levels from what I remember. It had a really cool visual style. The story was, I didn't get all the way through it because I don't like first-person shooters, but I remember it being kind of interesting. But I think it was just because it was more interesting at the time it came out. So we took note of it and we're like, yeah, 13 was such a neat game at the time. But over the years, first-person shooters, we had like an entire console gen pretty much dominated by first and third-person shooters to the point where having one that's cel-shaded and a remake of an old game, I feel like that's just not interesting enough to be interesting. It feels like they picked a really bad time to remake it because, sure, we've gotten over the first-person shooter bubble, but now this remake is coming out. And
yeah, and 13 really is just a third, like it really is a first-person shooter. It is that through and through. It's not like this ain't like I don't know, like it's not like something like maybe like Dishonored where it's like it could be a first-person shooter, but it's actually not. It's just in first person. No, this is a first-person shooter. Like
the thing we get every single year, and we got really, really, really sick of for like all of the PS3, all of the Xbox 360, the things that people were drowning in. And Dishonored was a really cool stealth game. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that game is really good. I still need to play the second one. Really big fan of Arcade Studios' work too, along with Don't Not. But I think it's just that the novelty of the original 13 and just the era where it was made, it feels like a game that could only be a cult hit because it was made during the time it was. And, nowadays we've just gotten so many first-person shooters that 13 seems just kind of quaint, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Like, oh, it's cel-shaded. It's cool.
That's honestly, it's funny because I was thinking the exact same thing when I saw the most recent trailer for Deathlooped or whatever that one's freaking called. Where it's like, oh, it's like a shooter thing. There's like time travel mechanics, but it just looks like a shooter, and it's like it's not as interesting because it just looks like a standard first-person shooter.
Ah, yes, gun.
Mm-hmm. Like
There's your
apparently
game.
there's
That's
another
your game
player
document.
that's hunting you down too, so you always got to like worry about that. I still don't know what the heck that game's supposed to be.
Isn't there
It
another thing called Death Looped or something?
that
Death Looped?
that's the one I'm talking about. From I think it's from Arcane. I think Arcane's working on that.
Is it Arcane? It is Arcane.
Yeah, it is Arcane.
Well, that was a weird full circle moment right there.
Yeah, that's. I still have no idea what the heck that game's gonna be like.
Why are you working on that instead of a sequel to Dishonored? That'd be nice.
I mean, the sequel to the sequel.
Yeah, sequel to the sequel. That'd be cool. Maybe they don't want to work on it. That'd be fine. I like
I
Dishonored.
mean, I
It's
do
just
think
kind of
two's pretty good. It's
Yeah.
just that it's clear though that the engine needed a little bit of tweaking. Because
Yeah, that'd be fine. Prey was okay from what I heard. I still need to play it.
I actually really like that. I was
Even though it had
surprised.
nothing to do with the original Prey.
Which I never played. I still haven't played. So
Apparently it's really, really good.
Mhm.
But anyway, I just think 13's time has kind of come and gone and no one's interested in it because it's a game of its time. You know, like Red Faction? No one cares about Red
perfect.
Faction because what was Red Faction? It was a console shooter with environmental destruction. That was the era of like experimentation where people were taking genres and just kind of adding a cool thing, and that cool thing was a selling point that you could experience. But nowadays it all feels kind of just okay, but can you do something else? Like it's a first person
It's
shooter
bare
but it's
bones.
cel shaded. Okay, well, we have Borderlands. It's a first person shooter with environmental destruction. Great. We have the other Red Faction games. Saints Row, I think, has environmental
Yeah,
destruction.
Saints Row does too. I don't
Okay, so
I
we
don't know
have
about the
those
first
games.
game, but the other ones
We
do.
have Battlefield Bad Company. I think that does have it. We have Battlefield 1. Like it just feels
Every
like
Battlefield game, legit every Battlefield game has it.
I don't play Battlefield. That's just what I've heard. But at 13, it feels like it's a game that happened during the time, and the time to capitalize on whatever interest there was in it has kind of come and gone because over the years, there's just been many first-person shooters that have expanded on the ideas, improved upon the ideas, the mechanics of the genre. It just feels like it doesn't have anything to do, and they're just remaking it because, hey, people thought this game was cool. It'd be nice if we got a sequel to 13, and they're making it as like 13 complete edition or something, where they actually make a conclusion to the story because they never got a sequel. That's really weird.
Yeah,
like,
with
if it sold well, we
improved
would have gotten
mechanics.
a sequel. So why remake it when it probably didn't do very well in the first place? It just seems like a really unnecessary title to remake.
Yeah, I think I am in that same boat where like I think having a sequel that basically takes the style of the game but updates it, adds more stuff so for our modern audience instead of just making it just straight up a remake. Because I think you're right, for a game like that you need to basically update the mechanics, make it a lot more interesting to play than just like it's a shooter.
Yeah, but it's in cell shading.
Mm-hmm.
Really
Which-
cool cell shading.
Yeah,
Like it looks neat, but we have Borderlands.
Mm-hmm. Borderlands
So,
3 is great. It is a good
I've only
time.
played the second one.
2 is also pretty good, but I just like that 3, like there's every one of the player characters feels like they actually have character this time.
Yeah,
I like
I
that
haven't played
freaking
it. I
matter.
haven't played it in a long time. Because I think you're supposed to play it with friends, and I don't really have any friends who play Borderlands, and I don't have it on PC, so It just
Yeah.
feels like it doesn't need to be remade, but people are remaking it because nostalgia. And people don't need to remake Legend of Dragoon as an action game. Stop it. I want turn-based games because people prove that can be successful. Again, Persona 5, like
We will
people
always
have-
get turn-based games. In fact, like Brave Default 2 is coming to the Switch. Though,
Yeah,
like,
but
the art is different.
you know why Bravely Default 2 is coming to the Switch? Because the first 2 games were really successful and they were turn-based. Like the original Legend of Dragoon. I would have liked it if they could have just like.
So then here's a
combat.
question then for you. What do you think of the newest Final Fantasy being action?
I mean, they've been doing that for a while. And like even back then, like during the Final Fantasy 14, not 14, 4, as back as 4, they were doing the action at the ATB system, which I'm not really a big fan of, where you have to wait to fill up a bar and then you can do a move, and that's fine because it's just.
It was only my hot take about that is basically it's only really interesting in bosses. That's it.
Yeah. I just prefer turn-based systems because it's very clear on what is going to happen next, and then I can plan around it. That's why, despite how okay and kind of disappointing I thought Octopath Traveler was, the combat is fun because turn-based is just. Oh yeah,
the combat was my favorite part of it. Honestly, I actually just really liked fighting, especially all the bosses and the sprite. Oh my god, the sprites.
Yeah, sprite work is great. The secret bosses are super hard. I've beaten 3 of them now. I still need to get the War Master.
Octopath Traveler is like basically just it's what I always imagined an old school. Okay, I guess I can call it old school Final Fantasy. Yeah,
it's trying to do that.
Yeah, but it's like what you would imagine it to be, not like what it actually is, but all the really cool, memorable things, and it's in this.
Except that, better storytelling.
Yeah, and it needed better storytelling. That's really.
Hope the second one has better storytelling. Instead of just ripping off Final Fantasy 1.
Hey, listen, being able to play as like a merchant, that's kind of cool. Okay, what RPGs let you play as that?
Merchant class that has a job system. Yeah. I do like, but anyway, we're not talking about Octopath Traveler. We're talking about Cassie and the Cassie remake.
We're done talking about Cassie now.
All right. I feel like I complained more about the Legend of Dragoon remake than I did talking about why the Cassie remake is just kind of whatever.
Yeah.
Who's remaking it, by the way?
Well, we were talking about turn-based stuff. I guess then we can bring up the fact that the original Fire Emblem games on the Switch, for a limited time only, that it's gone.
Just like that Mario 3D All-Stars, which was just ROMs put on a cartridge. Because
now, to be fair, this one is nowhere near as expensive, and they do at least add. I think they added some like a speed up feature or something like that for it.
That really is just like a lot of people. I complain about this a lot. Maybe not complain about it a lot, but like I've never liked Nintendo's business practices, and I also don't really.
They're very hit or miss for me. Like. I can't say I outright hate Nintendo, but I can't say I'm outright a fan.
I mean, I don't hate them either. I just hate their business practices a lot of the time. Their artificial scarcity, the fact that their games never lower in price. They always are like at least $50, no matter how old they are. I went to GameStop the other day where, weirdly enough, I pulled a Lightning Storm out of a pack of Ignition Assault just because I bought it on a whim, which is great because now I can sell it for like $120. But then I saw that they didn't. Well, I guess this was a while ago. I didn't go to GameStop. I went to Vintage Stock. That's the different one. I didn't pull a Lightning Storm from there. Would have been cool. Anyway, I saw that like some of the old Super Nintendo games are still very expensive, and I mean that's fine because they're old games. It's reasonable to expect that they're a little pricier. I think they have like Earthbound for about $200.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, that's reasonable. But then like the Pokemon games for GBA are still over $40, and they're like over 15 years old, and they sold like millions of copies, and I'm just like, why are you not lowering the price on these things? And also the Switch games, Breath of the Wild is still over $50. Yep. It's been out for 3 years. Nintendo, you're not that great. Stop it.
Please.
Just
See,
stop it.
the only time they ever get any sort of sales is like through the eShop. That's the only time. If you're ever gonna buy anything that's first party Nintendo, that's the only time you're gonna get any good sales.
Unless you're a nostalgically blinded Nintendo fanatic, in which case you're going to lap up every single thing they release, claim it's the best thing ever made, ever in the history of humankind, and then you will attack anyone who says otherwise.
I mean, I am grateful that they got that because of them. We got Bayonetta 2, so that's
That
nice.
is fine.
And we're getting Bayonetta 3, guys.
$60, but
Yeah,
sure.
guys, we're getting Bayonetta 3. We definitely are. That's a thing. Okay, it's gonna happen. Swear to
We just
God.
have to wait for Kamiya to be in the mood. Kamina.
Mhm.
Kamina? Hideki Kamiya.
Yeah,
Kamiya?
I always. Oh God.
I think it's Kamiya because I think his name
It's
is
Kamiya. I'm pretty sure it is Kamiya. Please don't
Yeah.
block me. By the way, again.
I think I'm already blocked by him, and I don't even know why.
I made a dumb joke, or not dumb joke, but when I did videos, when I used to do that, I did my Devil May Cry 1 video, and I was like, you know what? Wouldn't it be really funny if I just tweeted, "Hey, I made a video on your game that you made. It's good," and it's like, "Ha, thanks." Blocked.
He's weird.
And I'm like, okay. I mean, I knew I was going to get blocked anyway, but it was like, it was great.
Hey,
And
we're not talking about Kamiya. We're getting Bayonetta 3 at some point. Just like we're going to get Metroid Prime 4.
oh yeah, that's coming out, guys. It's really soon. Just like Pikmin 4 coming out really soon, guys.
You just keep waiting, Nintendo fanatics. Don't complain about anything because that means you think Nintendo is doing a bad. You can act self-entitled all you want and still say Nintendo is the best company to ever exist in the history of humanity because you do that all the time. And I hate you. I hate you.
I love that we're just throwing shade. This is great. This is awesome.
And also, Zelda games are not that good.
Oh, okay.
Wind
Wow.
Waker
This
is.
is a hot. This
Wind
is a hot
Waker
take.
is. Wind Waker is good. That's the best one. You
I
know
can't-
why? Because it's got personality and storyline and charm, and it feels like an adventure instead of a
Whoa,
checklist.
wait. Not even like Majora's Mask, because I really like Majora's Mask.
Okay, Majora's Mask is also good because it has philosophy about the meaningless of existence. It is very nihilistic, and it is depressing.
Oh, yeah, it's very
and
depressing.
the fact that you do everything to save them and just no one cares, like no one notices, that's
No,
actually
yeah,
really
no
cool.
one actually. Yeah, because that's the thing. Yeah, the ending of the game is no one ever noticed that there was any danger. You basically just undoed everything.
Link
That's
is
like
never
the-
treated like, oh, you
Mhm.
are the one chosen person who must save the world because reasons. Now
Dude,
put on this green
time
tunic
travel.
and
This is like that's
have
the
an
thing.
annoying
Though.
partner and go save the world from the guy who should, by all rights, wipe the floor with you because he's like 3 times your size and he possesses the literal magical triangle of power. But no, you little anime twink elf. You're just gonna walk right in there, smack him with your sword a couple times, and save the world. Yay!
No one cares.
Fantastic story, Nintendo.
Yeah,
You've
it's
only
one of-
been repeating it for the past
honestly-
35 years.
Honestly, though, when thinking back to Majora's Mask, it is so great because it's one of those that's like you want to actually save these people because you get to know them and you're like, man, they don't want to die, but in the process of saving them, it's not like you get rewarded for like it's not like Link.
You're not special. You're
Yeah.
not special. You
Because
save everyone and life goes on.
because to them it's just another day. Like when you get to that, it's just like, oh, okay, cool.
Oh,
Was
look, the
there
moon
danger?
is falling.
Mhm.
Oh. What do I need from the store today?
So like the ending, the ending of okay. Listen, I could gush about Majora's Mask a lot because I really think it's one of those games that I think does time travel narratives like really well. It's a good example.
Yeah,
for it.
because I mean the bank thing is weird.
the bank's the only part that's like that makes no freaking sense.
I don't understand why you can't just pocket the money and take it back with you. I mean, the rest of your inventory goes with you.
Hmm.
It's bank fraud. That's what it is.
But yeah, okay. I haven't played a lot of Zelda games, so I can't say that. But I mean, like most of them I've enjoyed. So
They're the
that's-
definition of okay. They basically do the exact same thing over and over again, but everyone
I
just
mean, I really like
gets on their
Link's
knees
Awakening.
and
Well,
smacks
Link's
their
Awakening
foreheads
DX.
to the ground in praise of this repetitive, beaten horse that Nintendo keeps dragging out.
Yeah, okay. But would you rather have something that's familiar, that's at least somewhat set, or would you rather be a Sonic fan and having to deal with everything being different every single game?
Honestly, I don't care.
Exactly. No one cares. Anyway, so
I will say
like,
this though, Colors was good.
oh no, Colors is great.
Sonic Colors was good. But yeah, also Mario's not that great. Like he's not. I really don't want to make this keep bragging on Nintendo, but that's basically what we're gonna do anyway, because there's no reason to preserve an old game like this that a lot of people probably want to play and are willing to pay you money for the chance of playing an upscaled, easily available version of an old game on a now incredibly popular series and just be like, oh, it's gone. That was not
Yeah.
that was not a Thanos reference. Stop it. No. It's just
It is.
a snap.
It is now.
No, it's not.
Okay, but yeah, so the original Fire Emblem game, the NES game, is going to be available on Switch, and for a little bit, and then it's gone. I hate, don't do this, please, Nintendo, stop it. And that's it.
And also, don't do the 3D All-Stars thing where you just take 3 ROMs, the things you keep trying to shut down, you hypocritical jerks, and then put them on a cartridge to sell for full price temporarily. Like, that's just being mean to the customer. Because, like, also, Mother 3, like, there's already a fan translation of that. It's been out for, like, almost 15
couldn't
years.
they? Okay, see, this is one of the things that I'll ask to the audience or whatever. But can't they just be like, hey, so since it's our game, since we own the rights to Mother 3, we can just take your fan translation and then sell it? Like, isn't that something that they could technically do?
Yeah, that is something that they could do. They could also just, you know, apparently since they don't care, they could just shut down any site distributing the ROM and then sell it to us for $60 for Mother 3. Not even like all 3 games. Like,
no, yeah, they obviously would.
They probably wouldn't even do that. They probably just sell Mother 3 for $60.
Yeah, they would. They would.
Translation that they shut down and then stole for their own uses. Like, I am not going to apologize for any Zelda fanatics out there, but the company isn't all perfect. Okay, they're not.
No
okay?
company
is
perfect.
Prime reason why you don't. I think game preservation is important. Like, selling old games on newer consoles is a good way to preserve those games for, you know, future people to play. That's why I hate the whole thing about the Scott Pilgrim game, because that was off markets for so long, and I understand why. It was like a temporary.
Yeah, because not only did you have like Universal, but you also had Anamanaguchi had their own licensing because it was their music too that they provided for the game, and then the IP of Scott Pilgrim itself, and then you had Ubisoft. So there was a lot of multiple things going on.
Tangled spaghetti of contracts.
It was basically asking to, like, once something's up, then it's gonna be gone. And
now we have it back because everyone just complained that I want to play this really awesome game and it just disappeared. And that's the thing. Like, why do that? Why have a game that people want to play, that people will pay you money for, and then not have it after a while? I heard a saying once that I think Jim Sterling said it. It's like, people pay for convenience. When the Apple Store and iTunes started, you know, selling music, piracy went down because it was convenient to just pay the music. And then once everything starts getting cut up into little fiefdoms of content, and, you know, a bunch of companies are just grabbing whatever they can and saying, you can only get this from us, you start seeing a lot more piracy because it's a lot more convenient to just go on to Pirate Bay.
Or whatever.
Is it Pirate Bay?
I think so.
Something
I'm
like
not sure.
And then just getting whatever they want because it's easier than having to go through all the rigmarole for this other stuff. Like, if they just charged, like, even if they, for the Mario 3D All-Stars, if they charged like $40 and didn't have the stupid, timed release thing where you can only get it, isn't it like 6 months? You can only get it for 6 months. And
yeah, until March of next year, which is the
That
same
is
thing
so
for
ridiculous.
Fire Emblem.
Like, what else are you gonna do? It's not like you're selling N64 games fresh off the production cart to people that just want to buy them. Like, you can't sell Mario 64 in a cartridge anymore. I mean, you could, you won't. But, like, you can't print new copies of Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy and just keep selling them, Nintendo. You might as well just keep it on the store and keep the physical cartridge because it's something people want. Why? And people want to play the original Fire Emblem game because, hey, Fire Emblem Awakening was massive. A lot in the into the series because of it. I got into the series because of it. I still need to play Echo.
And keep in mind, we never got, over in the West anyway, we never got the original Fire Emblem game.
Yeah, we never did. I think it was the Game Boy one.
That was the first Fire Emblem game that the West ever got. We did get the DS remake of the first game that apparently sucks. So
I haven't played it, but like I still want to play Echoes. I don't know why. It just seems like
Echoes is so good. I really love Echoes. It's my I think it's better than Awakening.
For the record, the only ones that I've played like 300 hours of Awakening, and I think I played through Birthright once. I think that just goes to show me how not good Birthright was. It's a shame because I was actually looking forward to it when it came out. But anyway, it's like people want to play it because, hey, all these new Fire Emblem games are selling super well. Awakening, the one they split into 3 parts for some stupid reason, I guess to emulate Pokemon. Their other series that is basically just one gigantic.
Oh yeah, Birthright and Conquest. Yeah, see that immediately it was just like, oh man,
that was a stupid move.
So stupid. No, it was. They had Birthright and Conquest. Both of them were like 2 separate stories. But then there was this BS like, oh no, there's this DLC that combines the 2 and is actually the true ending. And
then we're going to put all 3 games on one physical cartridge you can only get for a very small time.
Oh my god, and
they did that even back then. I'm just remembering that.
Yeah, like, oh god.
Screw you, Nintendo. Like, the franchise is finally doing well, and you're just going to be like, yeah, no, we're going to...
Fates just has so many problems.
Hard to actually get money from this. We're doing super well. So the best thing we can possibly do for business is to release games that we know people will want to pay us for, but make them available for a very short amount of time. So that way we can only make money from it for a very limited window of time. That's perfect.
Oh yeah.
Wow. That's really dumb.
It's, you know what's really funny though? It's like talking about this made me realize how happy I am to see Nocturne like getting a re-release.
Yeah, Nocturne's freaking great. How much you want to bet people are gonna call it the Dark Souls of Persona or something like that?
Oh man, I can already see the headlines. Though it's funny because there is a merciful, there is like an easy mode that they added to the game apparently.
That's nice.
They also have DLC for the game. I mean, it's not just Dante, but also there's like 2 new areas you can get. One that's basically just to farm items, and another one that's just to farm money.
That's useful.
So they made the game a lot more accessible, which I mean, are
we just gonna spend this whole thing bagging on Nintendo?
No. I just want to say that like I hope that does really good, because wouldn't it be great if we got like the other SMT games from the PS2 era that never have seen the light of day after, like the Digital Devil Sagas,
Kuzunoha?
and the Raito games.
Digital Devil Saga. They made a lot of ones for that PS2.
Mm-hmm. Can we finally get like a definitive port of Persona 3 that just combines everything from Fez and Portable.
And can it not be on the Switch only? Because I got a physical copy for my PS2 and it doesn't work.
Damn.
Everything runs fine except for some reason Yukari's voice lines, there's this weird pause in it where it takes like 10 seconds for her lines to actually like sound off. And then the music just cuts out for a while. It's so annoying. Like even the game doesn't want to talk to her. But anyway, yeah, it's really stupid for them to only have this game for a limited time. Because it's not like a limited time sale or anything like that. It's only available for a limited time, which means, oh, you didn't get it when it was here? Great. We don't get your money. This is a brilliant business strategy. Being an absolutely rude jerk to customers about games that we know they'll pay for. We're just not gonna let them do that. So yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that's our thoughts on Nintendo. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you for coming to our TED Talk about.
We do have one more piece of headlines, but I mean it's not even that important. Cyberpunk got delayed. Oh, okay. Again? Cool. Anyway,
hopefully
that's it.
There's no crunch involved, although I wouldn't put it past CD Projekt Red.
I am still a little upset about that. Just like, it's like it's more upsetting to me because of their whole. Oh no, this game will be out when it's good and ready. We take our time, and then like, LOL, no, we're gonna crunch. It's like
it's like when Bethesda says, or is Bethesda is BioWare magic. That's what it is. That's not magic. That's like slave driving.
That's the blood, sweat, and tears from the developers. That's the magic. That's the real magic.
Game. You know what the real magic would be? A game developers union.
Oh, I was gonna say today's sponsor, but no.
Yeah. We have a sponsor?
No, we don't.
Oh.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Unless it is. Unless we're actually sponsored by Nintendo.
Unless this whole thing was... Yeah. Anyway, after bashing on Nintendo, today's sponsor is Nintendo.
I would actually love if I... Like, it would never happen. I would never agree to be sponsored by Nintendo. Like, I'm not even joking here. Because I actually kind of hate them as a business. But it would be really funny if I accepted the partnership just so I could make a video saying how crap they are at
just
business.
To be clear, just because I accepted this, I can still say whatever I want. If they said yes, they said, all right, cool. Anyway, now we're going to talk about Nintendo's horrible business practices.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That would be like Jim Sterling taking the partnership, even though he doesn't do that, so that wouldn't happen. So, that'd be funny. Or they don't do that. So, yeah.
So anyway, that is going to be it for the podcast. I want to thank everyone that is listening to our lovely voices.
And I'd like to apologize. I'm sorry I had to be here.
For talking. That's okay. If you enjoyed listening to Hoodlie, there's links.
Get some help.
Okay, I mean first, but before you do that, go and check out the YouTube channel, and should I link your Twitter too?
If you want. I really don't do much there, but I mean, if you want.
Sure thing.
If you want to see me liking pictures of cute bats, snakes, and mice, and also puppies and cats, and really just any cute animal I come across.
I love how you maybe should have started with the puppies and cats.
Well, people need to respect bats and snakes and rats because they're cute. Snakes are little boop noodles. You should appreciate them.
All right, and on that note, I just want to remind you all to stay safe, wear a mask, do all that stuff.
Don't be a Karen.
Yes, if you can help it, please.
Unless your name is Karen.
Then
Worst
we are
case,
sorry.
don't be slang Karen. I don't know where I was going with this.
Oh well. With that all said, my name is Gumshoe. I hope you all have a fantastic day, afternoon, night, and take care.